Hi everyone, welcome to this lesson on selection in Python. Today we're going to learn how to make decisions in our programs using something called selection statements. This is part of the Introduction to Python series. Let's get started. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to use if, else, and elif statements in your programs, understand how to compare values using comparison operators, learn why indentation is so important in Python and how to use it correctly. These are the key skills we'll be focusing on today. So let's get started. Let's start with a simple program. What do you think this code does? This is a password checker program. It asks the user to enter a password, and if the password is correct, it grants access. If not, it denies access. Here's how it works. The program prints a welcome message. It asks the user to enter a password using the input function. Then it checks if the password matches Diamond 2024. If it does, it prints welcome to the VIP section. If it doesn't, you'll get a standard entry only. This is a great example of how selection works in Python. It lets the program make decisions based on conditions. Now, let's talk about something super important in Python, indentation. In Python, indentation isn't just for making your code look neat, it's actually part of the language's syntax. Indentation tells Python where a block of code starts and ends. For example, in the password checker program, the lines print access granted, or where it said welcome to the VIP section and standard entry, these are indented. This tells Python that these lines belong to the if and else statements. If you don't indent your code correctly, Python will either give you an error or your program won't work as expected. So always pay attention to your indentation. Let's break down how an if statement works. An if statement is like a decision maker in your program. It checks if a condition is true, and if it is, it runs a block of code. If the condition isn't true, it can run a different block of code using else. Think of it like this. If nobody saw me do it, then I might get away with it. But if someone saw me, I get caught or I get busted. This is exactly how an if statement works. They help your program decide what to do based on certain conditions. Let's look at the syntax of an if statement. Here's an example. This program asks the user to enter a score. If the score is 50 or over, it prints pass. If the score is less than 50, it prints fail. Here's how it works. The program uses input to get the score and convert it to an integer using int. Then it checks if the score is greater than or equal to 50. If it is, it prints pass. If the condition isn't true, it moves to the else block and prints fail. This is a simple but powerful way to make decisions in your program. Now, let's talk about comparison operators. These are symbols that let your program compare values in Python. Here's a table of the most common ones. The == sign checks if two values are equal. For example, 5 is equal to 5, which is true. The exclamation mark followed by the equal sign checks if two values are not equal. For example, 5 does not equal to 3, and that's true. The greater than checks if the first value is greater than the second. For example, 7 is greater than 5, which is true. The less than symbol checks if the first value is less than the second. For example, 3 is less than 5, and that's true. The greater than followed by the equal sign checks if the first value is greater than or equal to the second. For example, 5 is greater than or equal to 5. This is true. The less than or equal to symbols check if the first value is less than or equal to the second. For example, 4 is less than or equal to 5, and this is true. These operators are essential for making decisions in your programs. Where do you think if statements are used in real life? Think about a mobile phone. There are so many decisions it has to make. For example, if the battery is low, it might show a warning. If you receive a message, it might play a notification sound. If you try to unlock it with the wrong password, it might lock you out. All of these decisions are made using if statements in the phone software. So, if statements are everywhere in the technology we use every day. Let's write a simple program together. Imagine you're creating a program for a police speed camera. Here's what it needs to do. It should ask for the driver's speed. If the speed is over 70 miles per hour, it should display issue fine. If the speed is 70 miles per hour or less, it should display no action. This is a great way to practice using if statements in real-world scenarios. Sometimes you need more than just two options. That's where elif comes in. Elif stands for else if, and it lets you add more conditions to your program. This program checks a student's grade and prints their result. If the grade is 80 or higher, it prints distinction. If the grade is between 70 and 79, it prints merit. If the grade is between 60 and 69, it prints pass. If the grade is below 60, it prints fail. You can use as many elif statements as you need to handle multiple conditions. Let's improve our speeding program by adding an elif statement. Now the program will issue a warning if the speed is between 70 and 75, only issue a fine if the speed is 75 miles per hour or higher. This makes the program more flexible and realistic. That's it for today's lesson. I hope you found this video helpful. You may wish to go back to some of the programs that we looked at this lesson and try to write them out on a platform of your choice, where with Python. It will be something that will be very beneficial for you to practice as you watch the video. If you've liked this video, hit subscribe, like, and share with people who may also benefit from this information. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye for now.